Kamie, go ahead and assess it, and I'll go from there.
You know, it's just another hard-fought game. It's just so typical of what's happening in the Big Sky, and certainly for our team. I mean, there's very little difference in a lot of teams in this league. And I just talked to the team about there's a team in March that's going to show more consistency and more competitiveness than anyone else. And, you know, in those two factors tonight, North Dakota's getting better in those areas. North Dakota's gotten better as the season's gone on. I talked to Travis before the game. He's got his team playing as good as they've played all season. They're playing to their strengths.
And 8 in a row, I think, right?
I think they lost against Idaho this last one, but they had 7 in a row, then lost, and now they get this one. So, you know, that's what we want to be. We want to be the team that's getting better. We show signs of it. It's another example of a slow start, bad pace. You know, they were a little bit more physical on the on-ball stuff. We didn't expect that. We didn't handle that very well. We didn't get into our stuff very well. And that just knocked us back on our heels. And when we do that, and when we're tentative, and when we're not aggressive, we don't produce very many points at all. And it took us a while to kind of get going and loosen them up and find ways to score. And I thought we did better as the game went on. And then I thought our fourth quarter, the start of the fourth quarter, was awful, and probably some of my play calls hurt us. We fight back. We do some really good things. I like the spunk of this team. I like the versatility that we can bring. We give ourselves a chance and then make a bad play at the end of the game to at least let them attack the rim and get to the foul line. So, again, there's very, very little difference in teams. The margin for error is very, very small, and we're on the back end of it again. And it's not the first time. It's been happening a few times for us this year.
Do you think they took away your perimeter game from you, knowing that this team kind of clicks when you can get a lot of three-pointers up?
Yeah, I mean, I think again they're a team. They did a lot of switching. They bothered our ball handler on balls with some hard hedging. They changed up how they guarded. It's such a guards game. You have to have guards that can really understand what's happening to them and get the ball out of their hands when they need to and get the ball to the right places on the floor. And we're just a little not unsure of what to do against physical teams, and they're a physical team, and a lot of their people can switch, and now we don't see the mismatches because they're bigger than us. So it's a combination of a little bit. It's of everything. It's us not handling a physical team and still not growing in that area. Again, that's the thing that I keep going back to, is we still haven't handled big, strong switching teams as well as we should.
You mentioned there several times maybe bad play calls that you made. What were you looking to do at those times?
Well, I just thought with the smaller lineup in a little bit, we could get some drives to the rim. I thought if we spaced the floor a little bit better,
Really?
or we could get some.
Lineup?
Well, Becca was in, but it was small around her, and so we wanted to get some on balls with Becca that could slip to the basket, and we could get maybe a switch and get a mismatch around her. It's the same old thing. I don't know that that's the strength of this team, because you can't. Our team really needs a little bit of structure. We're not good at just, go make a play. And I kind of put them in a position where they needed to make plays in that first at the start of that second half of the fourth quarter, and I think that hurt us. And the one player on our team that I think can play like that is Savannah Smith. We wanted to give her the ball. We wanted her to create some on-ball situations and get some switches. And she does a million good things, but she's still a freshman, and she still makes freshman mistakes. And by that, it's not even the turnovers. It's she picks up her dribble when she has a big on her. And she should never do that. She could, she gets a big and then she sees the mismatch, but she stands still and tries to throw it in, and it gets deflected. She doesn't understand the energy that it takes to create a passing lane. And it's nothing more than she needs experience. She needs time on the court. She needs to grow her game in those smaller areas, because the big areas of being able to score and her quickness and all the stuff that she can do with the ball is already there. It's just the nature of the game she's got to get better at, and the intensity of the game.
You talked about letting them get something inside at the end. You're talking about their second to last possession?
Their last possession, when we took the lead, we just wanted to, it's the same thing. It's a situation play. You want to make them catch it in front of you, and we were pressing our players. We didn't have a timeout, so we couldn't do that. They didn't have a timeout. It's 5.8 seconds left. You want to make sure that you make them catch it in front of you and go the full length, and we let them throw it over our head, and right away they had a 4-on-3 driving that ended up a foul and someone going to the free throw line. So again, I take that responsibility of not enough situations for our team, not knowing that. It's something that we'll face again, and certainly we'll be better the next time. But, that's one play out of a lot of other plays that we probably didn't play as well as we could have. That's an obvious one that wins the game for them, but there were other game-winning or game-changing plays mixed in that game where any number of our players could have made it. And some of those are just simply rebounding. They crush the boards, and we don't. They're bigger, but sometimes you just need a little more fight than the next guy. And I don't know, again, it goes back to the consistency and the competitiveness. I don't know that we're where we need to be in those two areas, and I think we can get there. I think we have a chance in Reno just like anyone else, but we need to play these next 4 games and get better in some areas, and those two are the keys for us to keep getting better.
Go back, you talked about slow start. What do you say is a slow start to?
I don't know.
I
don't know.
I
just think I think they had a good plan. I think we weren't expecting them to hard hedge our on ball. Right when they did that, we hung onto the ball too long and the ball stuck. When the ball sticks in one person's hands too long, nothing good's going to happen. And so we need to flip the floor. We need to move the basketball. They were denying things that we didn't expect them to deny, but it was just too much. We wanted it too easy, and sometimes that's the point. Is again, you can't expect it to be easy. You got to come off with intensity, and you got to get the ball out of your hands one way or the other. We have options on that, and when they guarded us really aggressively, we didn't handle it very well. We slowed down. We got the ball stuck. When we needed to sprint into on balls, we jogged. When we needed to cut hard, we cut soft. I mean, it's what happens when people kind of stand you up. You can either not let them, or you let them. And we kind of let them, and it got us to not playing as aggressively as they were defending us. And it took us a while to get us to another level of playing better, and we did. We got better, and we learned it. It's just we got to start the game better. You can't put yourself in that kind of hole.